strong with that one.
No, I'm serious. Anybody who plays D&D has been a DM. Go read that and be like, I wonder how I would play against this person. Because there's no... I want to make an NPC that's that and be like, all right, roll against it. See how it goes.
Yeah.
He shoots an arrow at you. You're now exploded. Have fun. Like, what?
Yeah.
He gets to choose anything he wants at all times.
I know. I love level 7 too. The curving shot. Did you read that?
Yeah. Oh, it's like, I missed. No, I didn't.
I didn't. I meant to go after that one.
All right,
Anyway,
gentlemen.
I was laughing.
Go read this Arcana, please. That's all I ask. If you're DM, read this Arcana. Read specifically about the Arcane Archer and ask yourself how you would do that. How are you going to play against that?
You know what, Mike? You just let me make one, and we'll test it out. You figure it out.
We may have. All right, I've been contemplating whether or not an arena to allow in all Arcana and just see all hell break loose. Like we can maybe if people get ambitious enough for this, you can have one just balls to the wall. Any Arcana that was released, you make that character for arena, and then one that's just a actual legit character from the player's handbook, the core rule books, and then we could just have just a Wildland Knight, and Glen could just go pull one out and
this is the highest rated creature in the book.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It'll take 2 shots.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do I get 2 turns?
I get 6 turns this turn, and as my bonus action, I get 3 more turns. Plus 2 spells I can cast at any time as a reaction. But my reaction grants me an additional bonus action, which I get 2 turns. Then I will be able to cast my refresh, which gives me another full action and movement. Then it just cycles over and over. That's a loophole Glen would find. I know Glen would hunt that down.
I'd like to use a one-up arrow where it's constantly one-upping the other person, so it's just better at all times.
Can you hope for that?
Exactly. Oh man,
I can make one.
It's just a picture of a guy going. But no, I have.
If it exists,
I also have laser eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
And frost breath. Wait a second.
Oh lordy!
All right, let's just.
All right, what's our next segment? Harrison.
It is incredibly overpowered.
What's our next segment?
I agree.
Segment.
So yeah, moving on. Let us go on and discuss our tales from last Tuesday.
So the tales from Tuesday is what
tales from Tuesday.
We'll call it.
I like it. Alliteration.
Yeah, that's what we do here.
That's all we do.
This is our level, man.
All
right, so last week was part 1 of maybe 2 of the climactic finale of you guys raiding this island. So when we started, Baron was absent that night, but kind of worked out in a way because Baron took off by himself into the tower in the middle of the island, or not in the middle of the island, but in the middle of this the ruins of this elven town. And dispatched quickly of a arcane mage in there and his acolytes. So then you guys took that opportunity to jet and bolt. What?
Out.
What?
Leave him to his death.
So you guys took the opportunity as he was in there fighting to zip on into the main fortress. There you ran into Deanna Thrace. That was Loretta's new character that I made for her there. Very tall, large Amazonian woman. Conveniently with a shield, a long sword, and a lasso.
I was thinking she had magical bracelets.
She did not have powerful bracers, not yet. Maybe she makes enough the island. So you guys went into the throne room where you fought a very large orc that you did not want to have words with. And he was
not going to have words with. Don't lie. Don't
pretend like he was going to have some sort of...
Do you know what I wrote down as... I had a whole bunch of dialogue figured out, but you guys were like, nope, fuck you. So I'm like, whatever. So
I wrote a poem.
No, that's fine. You guys do whatever you want to do. Next time you might want to just, not hit A to skip the text and start fighting. I'm just saying that.
I have something to say. Fuck you, dead.
Pretty much, that's how they roll. They're just like, I'm bored of talking. Let's just smash shit because we know we're gonna probably fight him anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So in my mind, in Lord of the Rings where they walk in and the Rohan,
Later.
right? Yeah, and he has like the guy whispering in his ear.
Worm tongue.
Yeah, worm.
Yeah.
You described that hobgoblin.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck's a hobgoblin here? Like, by no means should there be a hobgoblin here, unless that son of a bitch is like corrupted and mind screwing this guy. It's not like at any point he's gonna be like, oh, you know what? We should be friends. You've only killed half my town.
You guys will never know. You killed him.
I don't need to fucking know. He needed to die. He killed my goddamn wolf.
We dared to kill orcs, and we killed orcs.
So yes, the group is, if you don't know, they're on a bloody tale of revenge right now. Currently committing genocide on these orcicide on this tribe of orc. So you guys fought. Basically, the big fight of the night was in that throne room. There was one archer up at the top that you could not get in your OP vines, but he was kind of scuttling around up there. We had a spellcaster. I've been trying to use more spellcasters as of late on you guys because you guys just like to go run up into faces and go smashy. So that guy did a good amount of damage on you. So yeah, the fight was over. You guys just made it out thanks to Milton. So in case people don't know, sometimes in the campaigns I'll plan like this encounter out, and there's one with bullywugs. I think they're bullywugs. No, banderhobs earlier, and I'll have these encounters planned out for, let's say, like for 4 people, and then one person drops out. That encounter, unfortunately, since I kind of borderline make that, almost really hard, it's extremely difficult for the less people to take on. So I usually, when that time comes up, I pocket myself a failsafe type of thing. One little saving grace to help you guys. So when you fought the Banderhobs, it was you, Mehmet, that died too. You're the Banderhobs. Mehmet died, but Milton was able to revive him. And then
he has a vendetta against, like, every time I seem to play with these things in place, all of a sudden I'm dead. Like, magically it did all the damage to me. But don't worry,
so in all honesty, here's how it would have worked. So Milton needed to get someone that was out of the line of sight of the other orc. So Milton, he was not in good shape, could not stealth that well. So the person that was behind the pillar, out of the line of sight, just happened to have been Mehmet. If it have been Welby or Diana, then he would have given one of them the potion instead and left the other one out there to do the death saving rolls. So when my failsafe just comes in, so like Tony missed out, so he wasn't going to be there for the fight, and that fight was really tough. And so I had Milton there with one superior healing potion to just help you guys. But yeah, so that encounter happened. You guys, I would say you guys just made it out of that thing. And then you step outside. You only had
10 health, right, Glen?
It got me down all the way to 10 health. Yeah, first time I've been that close to death.
Yeah, that was really close. Like, I didn't know how close
Glen was. Knocked out like several times. Like,
I know.
The first time I've almost got knocked out. I'm a bear.
Yeah, it's
I was just gonna say, if you think about it, I've got 34 health twice, plus my normal health pool, which is 50 some. I've got a lot of health, so that's why I don't get knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excuse me for thinking.
Welby is extremely hard to even. Like, I was surprised I got him to the 10 health. When I asked you at a certain point during the game, I said, I was like, hey, how much health do you have left? I was figuring you probably had like 50 or whatever from your regular form, because I'm like, man, I bamfed you out of bear like 3 times already. I'm like, I killed your bear multiple times. How many times did I kill it?
Yeah. Twice, because I can only change twice. So
so I was like, damn.
And it has 34 health, so you got rid of that twice.
Yeah.
And now the first time the first time I did not have the rage on, so I couldn't half the damage.
Yeah.
But the second time I was halving all that damage, and while I was in halfling form, I was having all that damage.
Yep.
And that's 54 health. So I mean, you did a ton of damage to me.
That orc was mad.
That orc was freaking he
was mad. This little halfling that would not die, that kept turning into a bear and then back to a halfling, just taunting him. But you guys dispatched of him.
Kasey, imagine this. He has a gnome, right? It's a gnome. I'm sorry, identifies as a gnome.
It's a halfling that identifies as a gnome. Is what he plays.
Get him right.
Does it turn into half a bear?
No, it turns into a bear, a full bear.
A full giant bear.
Full bear that has its own set of hit points. That when the hit points go away, it just bamps back into a creature that he can instantly turn back into a bear.
On the next turn.
Druids.
Oh, on the next turn. Excuse me. Yeah. On the next turn.
Gotta wait till the next turn.
Right?
I don't remember that being a thing that happened with regular lycanthropy, though, I guess. Or whatever you'd call turning into a bear.
It's a druid thing.
Yeah.
It's
I imagine that's in cursive somewhere on a picture. It's just druid things.
It's a druid thing.
It just has a bear.
Twice already, Glen has off the top rope, like, just belly flopped onto creatures. He does a substantial amount of damage, but his bear is like that. What's his face from Tekken? There was a fighting bear in Tekken.
Akuma.
Yeah, Akuma.
That's Glen to a T right there. Just envision that, and that's Glen. That's all that is.
That's pretty sweet. Can you you could choose different animals too, right? But does it have to all be like?
It has to be a certain creature rating, and it cannot. It has to be an animal that I've seen before. Those are the only two. So, and then until you reach a certain level, there are certain other rules. Like you could turn into a flying creature, but you don't get the flying ability, so it's kind of pointless. So, I could turn into an eagle if I wanted to, but I couldn't fly. So, so why do that? But but yeah, basically that's the only rules. It's certain creature rating, and I had to have seen it.
Okay, so you couldn't see a lobster and be like, well, I'm gonna be that, but I'm gonna be really big.
Exactly. It has to be an actual creature that's in the game because you need to have stats for it. So when I turn into a bear, I basically take the brown bear stats from the player's handbook, and that's my stats. I get to keep my intelligence, my wisdom, and my charisma, but I have to take the bear's strength, dex, and constitution.
You make that sound like it's bad, like the bear's strength and dex and constitutions, but it's like I get to keep
dex
my
sucks compared to mine.
Wait, so you're saying that basically you have to become the thing that you see, so it's the exact, almost an exact copy of it, T1000 style.
Exactly.
So if it's a bear with hemorrhoids, you don't get to be a bear. You have to be a bear with hemorrhoids.
No, you don't get to take the hemorrhoids with you. You can leave those aside.
You sure?
Those fall off
when part of all
transforms.
I'm pretty sure. I don't become that bear. I turn into a bear. Okay.
Hemorrhoid rage.
Just scoots his butt across the ground as he attacks.
Oh God!
I'll knock a guy down, and that'll be an attack.
Wait, would you get its feelings too? Then would you turn into that bear, and then immediately you'd be like, for some reason I'm sad, and then you'd find out that maybe it's had a hard life.
These are the
that would be an interesting.
At some point, it had to give up heroin,
but
get back on the road to being a bear.
Once you see the animal, I don't have to see it again in order to turn into it. I can turn into that animal forever now.
Yeah, when the hell did you see an alligator, by the way?
You showed me an alligator, a giant alligator, when you put it in the arena with me.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Because I was wondering, because you turned into one to save Milton. I was like, where the hell did you see an alligator?
So I could do it.
No, not that one. That was a giant alligator. That was a CR6, I think. Yes, trust me.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, I just turned into a regular alligator.
Doesn't matter.
Somebody just pointed up a Roid-induced penguin. Which would be more dangerous, though?
Roid
a Roid-induced penguin or the giant lobster? The dire lobster. I mean,
the dire lobster. I always give it to the lobster.
Because
they got those pinchers, right? Man.
Yeah, what does a penguin have?
Love.
It's got roids.
It's on roids. To be fair, it's on roids. So
it's on roids.
It's on.
Okay. Yeah, I misunderstood that too. It's
on steroids. Or a dire lobster.
Dire lobster.
It could slap you pretty hard.
They mate for life, so maybe it can make a strong bond with you. It'd be so swole that you'd be like, man, at least he's in shape. At least he's in shape. He may not have a job. But...
Maybe it'll hurt you like in emotional ways instead. Like it'll love you for like 20 years and all of a sudden cheat on you and then show you a picture of it and leave. And that's the damage that it does.
Holy shit.
It'd be terrible at sliding on the ground. Penguins have those nice smooth bellies to slide on the ice. This would have like ripped abs and like chest
It just
muscles.
grates the ice as it goes. Shaved ice leaving behind it.
Shaved ice for everyone.
Yeah, no, like snow cones behind it.
That's his magical powers.
Yep. That sounds perfect. Let's.
Oh man.
Okay, now I'm giving it to the penguin. I want snow cones.
It doesn't beat the lobster 101, but the friends it makes from its snow cones
Exactly.
give it the edge.
Exactly. Oh Lord. What the hell were we talking about?
So Glen's penis.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Last night
we talk about that here.
you guys made it outside just to wrap up the Tuesday night. So after you guys defeated this orc and the hobgoblin and the orc archer and the 4 other orcs in the room, you guys ran outside, or you're headed outside. There was a large orc army that rallied out there. The loud roars of the nearby dragon were heard right outside the doors. It laid waste to many of the orc that were out there. And then you guys headed out. You try to sneak by the dragon. Unfortunately, the only one that actually passed the stealth check was your chainmail clad giant Amazonian woman was able to sneak past. But you guys could not sneak past the dragon. You attempted to throw the head of the orc leader towards the dragon as some sort of, hey,
offering.
we're on your side.
This dragon had to have been enslaved. Okay? I don't know its backstory, but I think that if you were a creature that was enslaved by something, and then somebody threw you the head of that thing that was enslaving you, would you not be like,
I think the wizard was probably the one that enslaved him, though.
Do you think they didn't know the difference between one orc and another one? They all look the same.
Whoa.
That's a little. Let's not go down that road.
How would your dog?
We like to keep this podcast a little PC.
How would your dog feel if someone threw your head at it?
I don't enslave my dog and make it fly around a tower.
Just saying.
If I was like, you know what you get to do today? Same thing you've done for the last 4 weeks.
36 laps around the house, Lily. You know the rules.
At that point, if somebody threw my head, she'd probably be like, she would immediately stretch in front of them and then be like, all right, where are we going?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it works.
As long as you have food, I'm down. Oh, I figured it out. We're going to feed the dragon.
Oh, Lord.
Can I have a pet dragon?
So, aside from what's going to happen with the dragon, did you have any questions about last night's adventure? This is your chance to go behind the screen for some stuff if you wanted to know.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Why was there a goddamn hobgoblin in there? And happened to disappear?
We'll leave that one till after you guys make it off the island.
Oh, we're not dying.
If you guys make it off the island, or if you guys just die on Tuesday, then you'll find out after, possibly. But
I am very surprised we didn't die already.
Well,
I'm
I think if Baron was there, Milton wouldn't have shown up, possibly, if Baron was there, because he was the failsafe. So if you imagine that stuff going down with Baron there, you guys, there's a possibility you may not have made it out.
Yeah. So really what screwed us over, actually the 3 of us probably could have handled it if all 3 of us were not sitting in one spot.
Next to each other, ready
where
to die.
you was able to cast the fireball and hit all 3 of us, because that's pretty much what put Loretta down too, right? Or did she get hit by an arrow again? She didn't die on that one, right? She got hit by an arrow again, I think.
Hers was a combination of almost all the attacks, I believe.
She got hit by like everything.
Yeah.
So, but it's a new character. She didn't even have all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, if we were separated and that fireball only hit one of us,
you guys probably would have been in pretty good shape. Yeah.
We would have probably been fine, because I was on the big orc. If anybody else was on, you dispatched the hobgoblin like fairly quickly once you got back up. So
yeah.
And after that, everything.
So you were climbing the pillar at that time, I think.
I was climbing the pillar, but that's not what saved me because you said it's still
it engulfs everything around it. Yeah. So
yeah, what saved me is I was raging, so half damage.
Yes, always with a half damage.
Well, and also Harrison, just interesting point. The raging, you don't actually have to attack. If you take damage, you stay in the rage. So even if it's half damage, you take damage, you stay in the rage. Yeah. Because I was paying attention to that this time after, because I wanted to make sure I was doing it right.
I just read the rage, and I just noticed there's a few times where you guys would, nothing would happen, essentially. Like, for a turn, like, they'd run over and give a potion, and they wouldn't take damage or anything. And then, all of a sudden, they were still in rage. It's the learning
there was a couple times that we should have re-raged in order to be in it again. But, yeah, if you take damage at all, you stay raged. As long as you take damage, before the start of your next turn, you stay raged.
You heard it here, kids. Make sure you get hit to keep the rage going.
Yep. Take damage.
Dun 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 dun. Oh lordy. All right. So yeah. Tuesday. Hopefully the climactic conclusion. We'll see. Climactic.
Then I go back to DM.
Yes. Quite possibly. Hopefully. We'll see. No promises. I don't know if you guys are I don't know how long that thing's going to take. I don't know what you guys are going to do.
True.
Sometimes you guys will be like, I want to go check out that tree back where we started from. Be like, all right. I don't know what you want to do.
Remember that tree we carved our names in? I want to go there.
So yeah, that will do it for the last Tuesday discussion. What do we have left?
It's kind of our free period where we either take a discussion. Free time.
We can answer a question from chat if chat wants to throw a question in, or what else?
We usually just let the guest, in this case, Kasey. You have any interesting D&D stories or tidbits that you want to throw out?
I got plenty of them. Let's see. I can start from the beginning. Let's start from the days of Kasey's beginnings in D&D, which was much later in life than it should have been. Let's see. What was I? 16? 15? Somewhere around that area. So, more than half my life ago at this point. Anyways.
Shit, they can figure age out now. Oh God.
Yeah.
Math.
So they mathed. They figured it out. We started off this group, and I was really into the idea of Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid, and then I finally got into this group of people, and it was so freaking one-sided, the most obscure, terrible playing ever. Everybody started from the beginning, right? Everyone, okay, we're all super low level, except the person who was the DM. She's like, oh yeah, so my boyfriend he wanted to be a half demon. It's like, okay. He also has a unicorn horn that turns into a katana. I was like, all right.
This is how it starts.
And then she's like, oh, and then when he turns into a demon, he has to roll every time to make sure he doesn't kill all of you, because he thought that would be cool. I'm like, what is going on here? What? Yeah. Okay, well, this can't get any more ridiculous. Yeah, I was wrong. And the next guy comes in and oh, well, he just wants to lick everything, so he's going to roll to lick everything. Every round.
Oh, man.
Nothing as great as roll for chub.
Yeah, it's what? That was the worst introduction to the game ever.
Yeah.
What's the DC save for a lick?
Yeah, I don't know, but at one point he got injured because he tried to lick a sign. I remember that, and I was glad for it. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the DM saying that she's like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna make my boyfriend super powerful, But I was glad that she did hurt the one guy who tried to lick everything.
Yeah, this
The saving grace for that terrible introduction to Dungeons and Dragons. That actually kept me away from Dungeons and Dragons for like another 6 years.
Jeez.
Because of that.
I think that's kind of the problem with, especially introducing people to it, is there's such a stigma, and it's because people like that, you know what I mean? Where you go in and they make it a non-fun situation where you have the one person who's just like, well, I'm super powerful and I can do everything and I can, and it's not fun when one person's like just ruining the game.
Fine, I'll stop playing, Harrison.
Not what I meant.
wait. But which one of you guys has the stupid arrows he fires like what was that? The movie Wanted, where he shoots the bullets and they fly sideways.
Curves the arrow.
Yeah.
Hey, my arrows couldn't curve.
That's such a.
I was a fighter.
I
was a fighter
at
with
level
a hand
1, you
crossbow.
just had like 14 attacks.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Two.
That's a lot
2.
for level 1.
You're right. But it wasn't 14.
Glen has no shame in his game.
And then
Hey,
at the very
there's a
end, I
rule
caused
book.
the runes.
As long as I'm within the rules, it's fair.
No, that doesn't make it fun. That's that guy when you go.
You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, there's no rules that says a dog can't play basketball. And then that happens.
And that's how we get goddamn Airbud. Do you want to be responsible for Airbud?
No, I don't make up things. Everything is legit and in the rulebook. And okay, so my monk character, no gimmicks at all. No gimmicks at all. He was a straight monk. There was no feats. There was no multi-classing to give him special abilities, anything. Straight up monk. And you guys hated him.
Because you're just like, I'm like, I shoot you, like I catch the arrow. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
he has an ability to catch the damn arrow. Stop shooting these arrows then.
it's so fucking ridiculous.
He can't catch a fireball, throw that instead.
we were barely starting out as DMing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
At level 7, though, I can evade it.
to break this, I think we should end on the question though from the chat. I enjoy this question.
Yes. What question?
So choose one: dire lobster,
Yes.
roid raged chicken this time,
Ooh.
Okay.
or
Jokes are getting around.
a giant falcon.
So like we throw them into an arena, and which one comes out?
Yeah, are we
victorious?
saying which one's gonna win in a fight?
Which one's gonna win? Which one would win in a fight?
How much time is given in this fight? Because
Wait, what is?
well,
Is there a bomb?
Battle Royale.
It's easily the
Okay.
Falcon, especially if it's giant. Because they
Well,
can
the
just
dire
pick up
lobster's
the
also
penguin, fly up,
But
and then
see,
just drop the penguin.
Yeah, but it's not a penguin; it's a chicken.
Oh,
And it's a
the same,
roid rage
it's the
chicken.
same thing. Like chicken is gonna flutter down, but it's still gonna hit the ground pretty hard.
If I remember my nature videos right, the lobster is the natural predator of the falcon.
He's been watching Discovery.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they usually attack from above, but yeah, they usually.
I just
National
imagine in
Geographic.
the most natural geographic voice ever: the lobster stalks its prey, the falcon from above.
Oh man! Just the falcon's
Time
just
how
sitting on
that it
a
can
low
fly.
hanging branch, and the lobster just claw comes out, just clamp, and pulls it down into the into the ocean.
Mike, we need to make a gift for that.
Oh
Oh
shoot!
man!
Lobster claw taking out the falcon.
It's like that on The Simpsons, that stupid nature video that they showed. And the gorilla's hanging on the tree, and the alligator just comes up and grabs it and pulls it into the water.
That was great.
Like what the hell? Oh no!
Too good, too good.
Yes. So I vote Falcon.
All seriousness,
Still.
I think I'd have to go with falcon.
Oh, the lobster. How could the lobster lose?
What's the
true.
lobster gonna do? It's just dire. It's still the same size as a regular lobster.
No, Dire would make it bigger, but still.
No, not big enough.
I think.
Yeah, what's it
I think
going
if
to
the
do to the
falcon was
falcon?
Pick up the lobster. Fucking. Snap
Have you
claws.
seen a falcon?
Falcon sits in a tree. What's it going to do?
Yeah.
Same thing. If it nothing, it's gonna live its life. It's obviously gonna have a family at that point. If the
So's the
falcon's never gonna
falcon.
mess with them.
So's the falcon.
Like we're assuming that these
The
animals
falcon could
want
just-
to kill each other. This
Falcon
is
can
not
just
like
wait
this-
for the lobster to dry out on dry land in the arena and die, and then it wins.
it's, The question was not.
Hold on, wait. If the chicken has infinite time, it could lay eggs and start a whole clan of Roid enraged chickens.
Well, there's no rooster there. So it's just going to lay eggs, and there's not going to be any. There's no rooster to make it actual chickens.
Well,
what if
there's weekends.
So
visitations
that even the lobster and the falcon ate them.
and then the lobster mates with the chicken, and then
God.
you've got a cock lobster.
Ooh.
All right, and thank you for watching tonight's podcast. This is.
Oh, man.
Would that be a cockster?
Glenn.
We've dissented.
I'm just.
Sorry, that's all I do.
God damn it.
I should be a class.
The Kasey class.
Roll for insanity.
Stepped into the rule, road for insanity. Just do it.
Don't ask questions.
I'm bored.
Oh,
All right, so that was fantastic.
good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, whoever asked that. Thanks a bunch.
Russ
Harrison's been monitoring chat more, and Caliber, of course. So, all right. Anything else you guys would like to touch on tonight before we end this beautiful, beautiful podcast?
Crazy thing.
No, I don't really got anything else to say.
Casey, do you want to plug your stuff while we're here?
Plug your stuff.
Hey, I'll plug my stuff. Sure,
Plug it.
yeah, why not?
Plug it.
So yeah, just I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh,
Plug it now.
So yeah, I do some cool stuff. I do some webcomics on www.schwartzandmerk.com. Probably see that little
under his
tab
name.
Somewhere under my name.
Yeah.
Or you could go to Schwartz and Merk on YouTube and find all sorts of videos. I've been doing chimichangas themed off of TV shows and movies and other pop culture stuff recently. So those have been going okay. So yeah, take a look at those. They're pretty fun.
If you enjoy my voice, I may be on.
Put
one of those
the link in
things.
chat. Hopefully, I typed it correctly.
Yeah.
You got it.
Porn site.
Yeah. If it asks for a credit card, it's the right site. So.
Well, we're definitely getting Harrison on a chimichanga episode for sure.
There we go.
I will be there. So yeah, check out Schwartz and Merk. It's funny stuff. Love the comics. Love the drawings.
Will
Do you
there be
have
lobsters
suggestions?
fighting falcons there?
Oh, I think that
shit.
should be a suggestion for a drawing.
I should actually.
We do a drawing suggestion every week. So
Dire lobster versus the falcon, the giant falcon.
Oh yeah, I could draw that. I would totally draw that. In fact, I'll probably do it tomorrow morning.
Chat has demanded this, so.
we will link to it through our every chat. If you guys make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, we will link to that photo.
Our Instagram's more entertaining, though. I'm just putting that out there, cause damn, man. But yeah, so to close out this this podcast here, thank you for joining me tonight, everybody. Harrison, Glenn, Kasey. Thanks for joining us here. You can please do follow our Twitch stream. Follow us on Instagram. You can go to dynamicgorilla.com. We have some stuff there. We have let me grab these really quick, actually.
Yes, the following helps.
I designed these little. This one's a little bent because we use the heck out of these things.
Other camera.
Can you see it? No, not your camera, you fools.
I want to see it though.
I can't. It's right next to my face. So basically, they're these little. They're free to download and free to print out on your own. There's like little potion cards. Oh, there we go. It's kind of blurry, but you can download these, use these in your campaign. It's really nice for keeping track of all your potions and everything that you have in your bag. Free to use. There's potions of all 4 levels of the potions on there. They're per D&D 5e rules. But yeah, feel free to use those. Share them, whatever you want to do. They're free to use. dynamicgorilla.com, you can pick those up. We also have some other cool stuff coming up on the site. Hopefully we'll get out soon. We have our actual D&D live stream where we're all together in person playing some D&D every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then soon we'll have our other show, our D&D Arena, which should be starting on Wednesdays. Not sure if we'll have, or is it going to be up and running next Wednesday, Harrison?
Beta next Wednesday.
Join
us. Let us
Apparently
know.
we're going to beta test this thing next Wednesday. And then our podcast will be every Thursday. So you come and tune into that. Watch us talk about stupid stuff. And yeah, anything else, guys?
Go check out
What time
Schwarzenberg.
on Wednesday?
Woo!
God damn it,
Thanks,
Glenn.
guys.
We're gonna start at 7, and it's gonna probably.
You're starting at
run
7?
until- Well, or
What?
8. Sorry,
Okay.
I think 8.
I don't
It's
know.
Beta. Our time will be adjusted.
Weird.
based off
It's
of
a
how
little
it runs.
wishy-washy time, so just look out for your little email notification or whatever you get to say, "Hey, Dynamic Gorilla is on live," and then that's when we'll be starting. So,
8:27.
yeah.
Kasey, I'm gonna end on this. They demand Dire Chicken versus Dire Lobster versus Giant Falcon.
Oh,
Make
so
sure-
all 3.
Yes, they want a battle royale. So make sure to follow our Instagram. The second that he makes that,
We'll throw it up.
post it back out so that you can find his.
Yep.
So just make sure to follow us.
Do we need
We'll
to
get
get
that to
stats
you.
now for those?
I promise we'll get that to you.
Oh, I'll send it to you tomorrow. I promise. It'll take me like 20 minutes max to draw that thing.
All right. There we go. It has been said. It has been done. From everyone here in lovely Arizona, to all of you out there, wherever you are, thanks for watching. Good night. And see you next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
You mean like an Ethernet cord?
Sorry. It's CS major. Yes, an Ethernet cord. A Cat
A LAN?
6 cable connected to my router through an input.
Hey, Dynamic Gorilla's going live.
Oh no! Peel one out, Gorilla Nation.
Am I supposed to be making noises at this too?
If you
Oh
like.
shit.
Weird grunts. You need a Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, I couldn't Donkey Kong it. Okay, everybody. Nah, I'm not gonna smash my desk in. One sec.
It's not worth it. Not right now.
Terrible.
Not with 0
What
viewers
just
right now. It's not
happened?
worth it. All right. Are we ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh
so-
yeah. What's the? Oh wait, real quick here. What are the rules on like speech? Just real quick. Like, am I not allowed to say like words, like bad words?
You can say whatever you want.
Say-
You're
No
This is-
words can be spoken.
This is a safe place.
You can be.
Just remember my children are listening.
Okay.
They're don't listen to Glenn. That's the first rule.
Okay.
Anything he says is wrong,
Pretty much.
and you should feel wrong.
It's either wrong or he's already joking. So he doesn't. It's one of those two things.
There's no line between sarcasm and real with him. It's
No.
just the same thing.
Okay. Good.
It's just
All
one
right.
blur.
Stream health looks good tonight, everybody. We're coasting at a smooth 2400 kbs. Hopefully we keep this up for the remainder of the podcast and take you to a nice conclusion later, and hope you enjoy the ride. Insert theme song. Wah, 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 wah.
Sound like a baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got a baby to sing our theme song.
Sure, why not? All right, so hello and welcome to another thrilling edition of Roundtable at the Drowsy Dragon. I am your host and Dungeon Master, but not Dungeon Master tonight. That sounds like a food. Dungeon Master tonight.
The Dungeon Master.
I thought you were talking about like a bath salt.
My name is Mike. I am the Dungeon Master for Tales of the Drowsy Dragon, and to my right in the box over there is Harrison, who's also another DM and player at the Drowsy Dragon every Tuesday. And then below him is our resident min-maxer, Glen, who we found the key to defeating, but we have not revealed what that key is yet. And then our special guest tonight, who has a constant look of shock on his face.
What?
What you don't know is that's a live webcam.
That is a live webcam.
He's just really good at holding it.
He's a
We have Kasey.
ventriloquist.
I'll play a round of applause through the tabletop audio here. Let's see. That was laughter. That was not applause. Close enough.
You lied to me.
This is good enough.
So welcome, gentlemen. Greetings. Cool.
Hey.
Hola.
High energy. That's what this podcast is all about. High energy.
Energy. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
Over
let's.
9,000.
Peel one out.
That's how you're gonna say it, Glenn.
That's how.
Yeah.
That's,
Peel one
that's my-
out.
How did you make that creepier than it already was?
Yeah,
I don't
peel
even
one
know.
out.
Yeah, peel it out, baby. Just peel one out for the Krillin Nation. Yeah.
Sound like somebody who smoked for 40 years.
Smoking them bananas. That's how I do.
Like a female that smoked for 40 years, and a prostitute that smokes bananas.
Exactly.
Oh, not all prostitutes smoke.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, so we are going to kick it off tonight with our discussion of a somewhat recently Arcana that was just released a few weeks ago, I think. So we covered last time the not revised, but the what was it? The term is losing me. It was for skills, feats for skills. That's what that was.
A class for races.
Feats for races? Feats for races is what we covered. Feats for races. Yeah. So this one here is just a revised subclasses. So some stuff that's already been released and now is revised. So we may not spend too much time on this guy here, but it was just kind of worth skimming over. There's a few things in here that are kind of crazy. So we'll start with the Barbarian for the Path of the Ancestral Guardian. Should I just read this entire thing? It's a lot of reading.
I was just gonna skip to the ancestral protectors.
Just to what it does, right?
Yeah, what it does. Yeah, we all know what barbarians are.
All right, barbarians, they hit
stuff.
Wait,
hold on. Kasey, what do you think a barbarian does? As somebody who hasn't played 5e.
First off, did you say ancestral protectors or ancestral protectors?
Yes. That's what I heard too, but I was not going to say anything.
Now, I get to say it because I'm the guest and you can't kick me out. I mean, you can.
It's new feet.
Goodbye.
I'm like a vampire. Once you invite me in, you have 0 power over me. Anyways, so, well, the Barbarian, clearly one who runs a bar, and just spells his name wrong. His name's really Brian.
It's just bad an extra
needed some extra letters.
Yeah, real name Bar Brian.
Oh, I get it.
Runner of the keep, the inn.
Ignore him. He's slow.
No, I mean, I know. I mean, I've played barbarians in plenty of games before, and I've played a barbarian in an much older version of D&D, probably in the times of Aught 2. So, I mean, it's a hack and slash, and I remember not a lot of magic going on there. Probably not a lot going on up top either.
Hit stuff, kill stuff.
Feel good.
'Tis the life of the barbarian.
Up top as in brain, not up top in the arms, because that's kind of up top, but not all the way up top.
I thought you were talking about hair.
Oh yeah, crazy awesome hair.
The most beautiful of hair, some would say.
Lots of lusciousness. No, I just start off with ancestor protection. So the one thing about all these is essentially when you get to for most of them a certain level 3 or whatever level that might be, you usually get to take a path. Like, I want to go barbarian who just rages and kills everything, or I want to go barbarian who
loves and protects everything.
Yeah. So these were just
they made that subclass yet.
That's this subclass
right here, baby. So basically, these are just kind of different paths you can take, but they revise to be more balanced, less outrageous. This one's funny. I think.
So let's dive into this bad boy here. So ancestral protectors, starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, spectral warriors appear when you enter rage. These warriors distract a foe, you strike and hinder its attempts to harm your companions. So basically this gives, every time you rage, it summon like a little spirit guardian that causes anyone that doesn't attack you to have disadvantage on attack. Correct?
It's weird though, the way that they describe it.
So this is, when I started reading this, there seems to be, and also with that last thing we read prior where it was feats for races, it feels like there's a lot of homogenizing going on with these Arcana. That's like there's already a class, a set of stuff that you can do that has a taunt like this. This just works like taunt. So there's like a mocking something that a barbarian, I believe, can get, or a fighter can get. And it basically, if the enemy, so if you're fighting the goblin and the goblin is hitting you, it's normal attacks. But if he tries to hit anyone else, they have disadvantage. So it's kind of like this. So it's really weird because it seems like they're starting to meld, like, well, I guess this class can kind of do things another class can do, and then just starts. It's kind of weird. So 6th level, you get Spirit Shield. Beginning at 6th level, the Guardian Spirits that aid you provide you supernatural protection for your allies. If you're raging and a creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 2d8. So again, that sounds like something else that possibly a paladin or fighter would have.
That's more paladin.
Yeah, it sounds very protected. Like, I never think of like the barbarian as being like, you know what? I really think I need to contact my gods, and like it sounds way too religious for a barbarian.
Right.
Yeah, they never seem like holy men.
Yeah, I can't imagine the barbarians like, hold on, it's Sunday, I can't do anything.
Yeah, so like basically the Path of the Guardian on this one is basically saying that
you should have played paladin.
These tribes teach that warriors of the past linger in the world as mighty spirits who can guide and protect the living. Barbarian who follows the path rages. The barbarian contacts the spirit world and calls these guardian spirits for aid in time of need. So you're like a holy barbarian, which is just you're starting to become a paladin. Like, I don't know.
The other barbarians have like the totem spirits, where they call on the spirits of the totem, the.
And that's what Tony
animal
has. Tony's picked like an eagle or something like that.
Yeah, but that's more of like spirit of animals, not.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds very Japanese, like I'm haunted by the warriors of my past family.
Yes.
Type thing.
Exactly. So 10th level, consult the spirits. You gain the ability to consult with your ancestral spirits and use them to scout far off areas. When you do so, you cast a clairvoyant spell without needing a spell slot. Rather than creating a spherical sensor, the spell invisibly summons one of your ancestral spirits to the chosen location. So this sounds like Tony's eagle eye that he gets with his totem.
Yeah.
like I don't understand.
You're rolling
like some of the
bones
stuff.
to call forth the spirit.
Yeah, but like Tony, apparently, according to him, he has that on all the time. So he's constantly looking at like other planets, like constantly.
I don't know.
Honestly, it just sounds like they're just renaming powers and giving them to everybody. It's kind of lame.
Yeah, that's what I had the feeling when I was reading through this thing here. It felt like a lot of, like I said, homogenization. Like they're just kind of everybody gets something, so now no one's exclusively.
It's what they did to
unique.
WoW, isn't it?
To an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent. I mean, it used to be only a couple classes could stun you, and
and then like the self-healing,
and
they gave some self-healing to pretty much every class. In some way or another, but they can't self-heal as well as like a priest or a druid or
but that's
paladin.
But I don't know. Like I thought vanilla WoW was like, if you were a healer, you better have somebody else with you because you were a healer, and that
Pretty
was
much.
what you did.
And then you also had the stark differences back in vanilla. If we're going down this road,
let's go down it.
You had paladin and shaman, which were exclusive to their races inside. So there were no paladins on the horde, and there was no shamans on the alliance like there is now. So there was that.
I don't know. I think that's
straight black
funny.
and white right there, like division, which they got rid of. So
I think classes are their own thing, though. I mean, you could take you could say that any race could have any particular class,
right.
But like the second you're just renaming powers and giving them to each class, you're basically like, well, here you get a gun. Okay, what do I get? You get a bullet thrower.
I'll take the gun instead.
In my mind, I just saw
Bullet launcher.
a slingshot and a bullet. Like they're like that's the thing that you give. It's like, oh, you bought this gun, and then like the lower end of it was like, oh, you have 5 tickets, you get a bullet thrower machine. It's just like a little slingshot. You're like, I got it, don't worry.
Yep.
Although that's what I feel like anytime I play a character next to Glen. It's like, oh, Glen has a machine gun. What do I have? Looks like I can spit on them. That's about it.
You have acid spit though. That's good.
It's just drugs.
I think he was talking about players unknown.
You have acid spit, so it melts them.
They're not. Or they just have a really good time.
All right, let's move
Not
on.
that kind of.
The bards now become some sort of roguish thing. So they have their College of Swords, which essentially just they live the lives, or their hidden side gig that no one should know about are usually assassins, burglars, and people that are blackmail artists. So this one here, again, with the let's take skills from other classes and throw it in here.
I hate this one so much.
So fighting style, you pick a fighting style. You can either do dueling or 2-weapon fighting. That's the same as other like rogues.
Ranger.
No. Who gets that? Ranger gets that.
Ranger.
Yeah. So pretty much the same thing. When you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain +2 damage to your rolls. Or if you're using a two-handed 2-weapon fighting, one weapon in each hand, you can add your ability modifier damage to the second attack. So yes, just like a
Those
ranger.
I don't know about the Ranger because I've never played it, but that's actually the same two. Well, that's 2 of these, I think, 6 fighting styles that you can pick as a fighter as well.
Yeah, yep. That's what I was looking for. Like I just built Loretta's fighters, so a lot of this stuff was like, this is the same thing. I just picked.
Yeah, those word for word, those are the exact same.
Yeah,
so.
and so also too, like just the bard, the colleges aren't in the player's handbook. They're not in the raw, as it were. So you would have to be using already the Unearthed Arcana to even be using these. So
The bard colleges are in the raw, aren't they?
No.
Yeah, they are.
no,
Yeah, you
Yeah, they
pick
are.
a college.
maybe they
Pick
made
your
more
college.
colleges because there's
Oh,
an
they
Unearthed
made
Arcana
more.
with more colleges.
but you pick,
There-
I
there's-
think, between
All right,
two.
everybody, calm the down. I will go slap each and every one of you, except for Kasey. He's being cool.
I'm cool. I'm always cool. I got the
All right.
drugs. Oh wait.
So at 3rd level, you get some
Is it
flourishes.
acid?
You get a defensive flourish. Spin your weapon. Blah blah blah. You do some crazy crap. You can spend one of your bardic inspiration, and you basically up your AC, I believe. Yeah, you add the number that you roll to your AC. And I believe some other class has that as well too, which I want to say is fighter, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's not ranger. It's fight. It's got to be fighter.
Possibly.
Maybe later on in fighting, as a fighter. But
Well, one of the
Yeah,
there's like 30 maneuvers a fighter
Yeah.
has, and one of them might be this. I'm not 100%.
yeah, that's true. It might be a maneuver.
Yeah.
I'll have to look.
And then they have slashing flourish. This one's kind of cool. I don't remember seeing this elsewhere, which is basically like a cleave attack. So if the attack hits its target, you can expend one of your bardic inspiration to cause the weapon to damage each creature of your choice, other than the target that you can see within 5 feet of you. The damage equals the number you roll on the bardic inspiration dice. So you're not going to hit them for the attack damage you did, but the 1 through 6 or whatever you have for your bardic inspiration.
My thing, what I would have made this cooler in my mind, and the reason I'm upset about this is, if they would have picked flourishes that go with a style. So like, if you pick 200 weapons fighting, and you were like, okay, for 200 weapon fighting, you can take these flourish. You have these 2 flourishes.
You wanted it
right?
tiered.
They're
right?
specific to the
But-
dueling or the 2-weapon
Because
fighting.
that makes perfect sense for dueling,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. It's same with the defensive stance and that. But it doesn't make any sense that the 2-weapon fight. You know what I mean? Like, why would 2-weapon fighting have like a mobile? I don't know. They needed to set them together. They needed to pick something that was specific to that. It's just like you said. It goes back to the homogeneous thing, where it's like, why is everybody getting everything? Like,
Yeah, when everyone's
can-
super,
nobody's
is.
super. I can't wait for that movie to come out.
Oh.
Excited.
All right, so moving on.
it
Mobile
up.
flourish,
you
the
can
last
add it
of the
to it.
flourishes on here. If the attack hits its target, you can expend one of your bardic inspiration to push the target up to 5 feet away from you, plus a number of feet equal to the number you roll on the bardic inspiration dice. You can then immediately use your reaction to move up to your speed to unoccupied space within 5 feet of the target. This is like This is straight out of the fighter as well too, because the fighter has a maneuver that can do a knockback, and then they may be able to run up to them, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. It very much seems like you said, like they. At what point do you just say, "Well, I should have"?
I should have put one level into a bard and then built the rest to fighter if I wanted some sort of musical casting background or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird.
It's odd. It's odd. So, speaking of fighter, let's move on to Glen's favorite type of fighter, the archer.
This thing's ridiculous.
All right, the arcane archer. This one's fairly short. I think. Where the hell is the rest of this thing? Oh no, it's over here. This thing printed out really bizarre. Okay, so let's read through some of these because this one's a little cray. This one's pretty long though. So, magic arrow. When you choose this archetype at level 3, you gain the ability to infuse arrows with magic. Whenever you fire a non-magical arrow from a short bow or long bow, you can make it a magic arrow with a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. The magic fades from the arrow immediately after it hits or misses the target.
That alone is just... That's awesome. +1 to attack and damage.
Yes.
I know +1 is not a lot, but
so then you always
give them that.
You're always firing magical arrows.
Yeah, and think of how much. Well, first of all, so if I understand it correctly, because it's a magical arrow, something like the warrior, when they take the totem of the bear and their resistance to, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, they would not be resistant to that because it's considered a magical attack, even though it's a piercing arrow, right?
Slow down.
So.
Okay, so go over that again.
When the barbarian.
Yes.
Has when they take the totem of the bear, they become resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and to slashing damage. Okay, so most your physical types of damage to the character. A normal arrow would be piercing damage typically. However, I believe, based on how magic works, because this is now a magical arrow, I believe...
You think you're circumventing that?
I think you would not have resistance to the piercing damage. I think you'd take the full damage from this arrow.
I believe so. So, you make a magic... Okay, so... Yeah, because then it turns into magic. So whenever you fire a non-magical, it specifically says that in here, non-magical arrow from a short bow or long bow, you can make it a magic arrow. So straight up saying you turn that into a magic arrow. So
and it doesn't take a bonus action or anything. It's just boom.
Plus 1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and magic fades as the arrow immediately after it hits or misses. So does that though turn it from piercing damage to magic damage? That's the thing.
Okay, so if we go into another class like the monk, they have an ability when you hit level 6 that turns their fists into magic weapons for the purposes of going around resistances. So if someone has resistance to bludgeoning, their fists count as magical weapons instead of just bludgeoning damage. So someone with resistance to bludgeoning would not get that resistance from a monk. So if you follow that same line of thinking, it sounds to me like this would also be included in that.
Yes.
Huh. Seems like a weird way to just get around all sorts of weird stuff.
Well, that's what makes it so cool, is because not only do you get +1 to attack, +1 to damage, but it's also now a magical arrow, which, as far as attacks are concerned in D&D, it's considered a magical attack. So it gets around the physical resistances that other tank-like characters have. To me, that's what I would think it would count as.
Yeah, I see. This seems too complicated. Where's Harrison?
I think he died.
Harrison, please.
He's out Donkey Kong.
People are gonna think that Donkey Konging means something else.
I was just gonna say that they weren't here for the original conversation.
Yeah, no, like almost any term that you say, you're like you were talking about Dungeon Master earlier, like Like, I had to take a huge dungeon master earlier. Like, that could mean anything. And it sounds terrible. Like Donkey Kong. It sounds like a poop. It sounds like poop.
It does. A little bit. A little bit. Let's discuss that further.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we could do that, or we could probably get back on topic. And actually probably
Maybe.
stop derailing everybody.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think our stream's having issues too. Which
yeah,
is
I was just gonna say you might want to check it because it looks like our stream froze.
Did it freeze? Okay.